knowledge will forever govern ignorance, and a people who mean to be their own governors must arm themselves with the power which knowledge gives. Liberty may be endangered by the abuse of liberty, but also by the abuse of power. If tyranny and oppression come to this land, it will be in the guise of fighting a foreign enemy. It will be of little avail to the people that the laws are made by men of their own choice if the laws be so voluminous that they cannot be read, or so incoherent that they cannot be understood. The essence of government is power, and power, lodged as it must be in human hands, will ever be liable to abuse. The operations of the federal government will be most extensive and important in times of war and danger, those of the state governments, in times of peace and security. America was indebted to immigration for her settlement and prosperity. That part of America which it encouraged them most had advanced most rapidly in population, agriculture and the arts. The purpose of separation of church and state is to keep forever from these shores the ceaseless strife that has soaked the soil of Europe with blood for centuries. Let me recommend the best medicine in the world, a long journey, at a mild season, through a pleasant country, in easy stages. Where an excessive power prevails, property of no sort is duly respected. No man is safe in his opinions, his person, his faculties, or his possessions. The happy union of these states is a wonder, their constitution a miracle, their example the hope of liberty throughout the world. The people are the only legitimate fountain of power, and it is from them that the constitutional charter, under which the several branches of government hold their power, is derived. And I have no doubt that every new example will succeed, as every past one has done, in showing that religion and government will both exist in greater purity, the less they are mixed together. As long as the reason of man continues fallible, and he is at liberty to exercise it, different opinions will be formed. I believe there are more instances of the abridgment of freedom of the people by gradual and silent encroachments by those in power than by violent and sudden usurpations. In framing a government which is to be administered by men over men, you must first enable the government to control the governed, and in the next place oblige it to control itself. Of all the enemies of public liberty, war is perhaps the most to be dreaded, because it comprises and develops the germ of every other. The rights of persons, and the rights of property, are the objects, for the protection of which government was instituted. Americans have the right and advantage of being armed, unlike the citizens of other countries whose governments are afraid to trust the people with arms. Religious bondage shackles and debilitates the mind and unfits it for every noble enterprise, every expanded prospect. The capacity of the female mind for studies of the highest order cannot be doubted, having been sufficiently illustrated by its works of genius, of erudition, and of science.